Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's been a long time. Well, not too long, just a few weeks. Today I want to talk about accommodation, how to get accommodation, things you need to know about accommodation, things you need to prepare your mind about on getting accommodation in the UK, United Kingdom, as a new, how will I call it, immigrant, student, work visa, whatever. However you came in, you're gonna get accommodation the same way. So stay tuned. So yes, accommodation. I don't know if you guys have heard about accommodation stuff and issues in UK, but getting accommodation sometimes can be more difficult than getting admission. I don't know why. There are a lot of requirements that some agents, some landlords ask for to get accommodation that are just unreasonable, ambiguous, and seriously annoying. So I'll drop the links of the sites that you can get the accommodation. You will need to check online. Most of the advertisement for accommodation are always online. You can get some accommodation offline if you have friends and families in the UK. You can get it offline. If they know a landlord that wants to rent his or her apartment, you can do it offline. It's also very possible to get offline accommodation. But if you don't know anybody, you're just coming to the UK for the first time, your sure bet is to check online. So I'm going to be dropping some links for you of the most popular websites where you can get accommodation. So when we were coming to UK, we've been checking online for accommodation, for the price, for us to have an idea what the price would be in the town or city we were coming to. And then when we submitted our application, we started calling those agents to ask about how to get the accommodation. That was when we discovered that this thing is something else. This thing is more difficult than even getting admission. So some of the things that these agents or landlord are asking for: number one, sometimes they ask you to pay upfront, like 6 months upfront, because you're new in the UK. They don't know your credit history. They don't know, you probably do not have employment. You're a student, you probably don't have employment, so they want to make sure that you pay the rent, so they can ask you for 6 months upfront. Or they can ask you to provide a UK citizen, what do they call it, guarantor. Guarantor, someone that will stand in for you, such that if you fail to pay the rent, they are going to hold this person responsible. So sometimes they ask you for someone that is a UK citizen. Sometimes they ask you for someone that is a UK citizen and owns a house in the UK. And sometimes some of them are nice, they just ask for someone that is resident in the UK, not necessarily a citizen, but he or she must earn maybe like £25,000 per annum. So you have to be looking for such a person. And if you don't have anybody in UK and you don't have money to pay 6 months up front, then you need to keep looking for other landlords or other agents that will be nicer. So apart from the guarantor and apart from you paying up front, they might also ask you to, some might say, okay, pay 3 months. If you can't pay for 6 months, pay 3 months. But if you don't have all these things, and if it's part of their requirements, you will not get the accommodation. And sometimes they might ask you for employment, your proof of employment. When we were trying to get accommodation, I was like, we are just coming into the UK, we don't have any employment. They're like, oh, sorry. Even if you have a guarantor, if you don't have a proof of employment, the landlord will not give out his apartment to you. I'm like, so where do you guys want us to stay? You want us to stay on the tree, or you want us to stay on the street? We'll get employment finally now, but at least give us this house. And what we had was, we really had money for 1 month and the deposit. So you are in UK, you pay for you pay monthly, mostly you pay monthly, and then you pay a deposit. The deposit is sometimes equivalent to your 1 month rent, or sometimes 5 weeks. So if your rent, for example, is 1,000 pounds per month, sometimes your deposit can be 1,000 pounds per month, or it can be 1,250, which is 5 weeks rent. It can be 1,250, which is 5 weeks rent. So you have to pay the deposit and the 1 month rent most times if they don't ask for upfront payment. And so these are some of the requirements they ask for: employment, guarantor, upfront payment. If you have cash, you have money to pay for like 6 months upfront, you are good to go. You will get accommodation very, very quickly. But if you don't, if you only have 1 month rent and then you have your deposit and you don't have a guarantor, it might be a little bit difficult. And for students that are coming alone, it's quite easy to get accommodation. You get what they call shared apartment. That's what most times students get. So you have like a duplex or a flat with like 4 rooms and 2 baths, and then each person will be in their room. You share the bath, you share the living room, you share the kitchen together. So the rent might be like 350, including bills, 400, depending on the location. It's quite easy for students to get this kind of accommodation. But if you're a couple, you will not even be allowed to stay in a shared apartment. Couple, you don't have any child, you don't have any baby, just you and your husband, there is high probability that they will not allow you to stay in a shared apartment. Even some studio apartments will not take you. There are some studio apartments that will tell you they only want a single occupant, and there are some that might, okay, like if it's very big, they might be able to accept you. And for people that are coming as a family, it's even more challenging to get accommodation than students. If it's a student and you're coming alone, it's still quite easy to get a shared apartment or a studio and like that. But as a family, another problem with getting accommodation with families, some landlords will say they don't want kids. Like, how will you say 1 bedroom apartment, 2 bedroom apartment, you don't want kids? And I'll be like, it's a baby. I have a baby. She's just 6 months. 6 months. It's just very tiny. How many spaces is she occupying in the house? And they were like, that's the landlord rule. The landlord does not want any child. Why do you want me to throw my child down? Should I throw the child away or what? So there are some those are part of their reasonable requirements. For people that have children, you start wondering, where do I want to put my children? But you just keep looking, keep checking the website. You practically just be waking up and sleeping on the website every day and be checking as they're dropping new accommodation, new flats for rent. You contact the agent very fast. It's like fastest finger sometimes, especially if you're in a city that is highly populated. You have to be very fast. Pam pam, as they are dropping it on the website, you call the agent as fast as possible. Quickly book a viewing, go check it out. And sometimes you get to the apartment and you don't even like it. I remember when we were still in Nigeria, then we were checking online, we were looking at apartments. Me and my husband were like, we don't like this one. No, this one is too far from the school. No, this one is this one is that. We thought we had a choice. By the time we finished our application, we got our visa, we were here. we stayed in an Airbnb. At that time, we were so desperate, we did not even care. Anywhere, whether it's 1 hour away from school, we don't even want to know. Let's just get an apartment. We're not doing any shakare again of saying it is far, it is not fine, it is this, it is that. We're so desperate to get, and when we finally got, we were like, thank God. We did not even do any viewing. We just okay. We just saw the pictures. We said fine, no well. It was after we paid, they gave us the key. That we came into the house and we saw what we paid for. I'm like, well, we don't have a choice. At least we have a roof over our head. Because at that time I was like 36 or 37 weeks pregnant. Baby can come at any time, and we still don't have a house, and we don't have any family in the UK. So we're so desperate. So you can start checking for accommodation even from Nigeria. It's possible to also get accommodation even from Nigeria. You can start calling the agent. If you have all these criteria that I just mentioned, if you have a lot of cash, you can pay up front, or you have a guarantor that can stay standing for you, you can get this accommodation even before coming. And if you have a family or a friend that is in the city where you're going, they can help you to go and view the apartment. And sometimes you can also view it online, but it's very advisable to have someone that can view it on your behalf, or wait till you come to UK and view it yourself. Look at what you're paying for by yourself, because some of these houses are very old and not really that nice, so to say. Just manageable. So why are you disturbing me? Say hi. Say hi. I thought you wanted to say hi to them. So why are you disturbing me when you know you don't want to say hi? Seriously, I've forgotten what I was saying, Seth. They have alubosa to my whatever that I'm saying. So if you're still in Nigeria, you're planning to come this September, you've gotten your visa or you've applied or whatever, my advice is start looking for accommodation online. Start getting to call this agent to know what their requirement is, so that you can put things in place. Because when we got here, it was a little bit fast for us. Within 10 days we were able to get accommodation, but some were not able to get 1 month, 2 months after landing. They were not able to get accommodation, maybe because they've not familiarized themselves with what they need to have, the requirement they need to have before they can get it. So some of the tips I've mentioned will help you to prepare your mind. And while waiting, for example, if you submit your application, while waiting for your visa, for that good news email to drop, you can start checking online. Start familiarizing yourself with the city you're going. I don't know why I like checking for apartments. It makes me, when I was in Nigeria, it makes me feel as if I was in UK already. It makes me feel like, yeah, this thing is going to come to pass very soon. I'm going to be here very soon. Even after getting accommodation, I was still checking apartments. I don't know why. I just like checking apartments to see different kind of apartments like that. So that is all that I have to say about the tips for accommodation and the few things you need to know. And the price of accommodation differs a lot. It differs. But averagely for the southern part of UK, and when I'm talking about the southern part, I'm talking about London, Manchester, Southampton, Portsmouth, Bournemouth, whatever they call all those places. The prices are averagely higher than the northern part, like Hull, Scotland, and the likes. So in London and its environments, for example, a studio apartment can go as high as £1,000. 2-bedroom can go as high as 1.5 averagely, while in all, for example, you can be seeing 2-bedroom of 600, 700, 800 averagely. So the prices differs. You will have to just check online for the city you're going to, and when you check online, you'll be able to know the average price that you will have. And it's best to choose something that is very average. Don't go and rent an apartment that is too expensive, because there's a lot of bills to pay in UK. Apartment, rent, electricity bill, gas, phone, food, your school fees if you've not finished it, a whole lot of expenses. So it's good to just get an apartment that is average, not on the high side, so that you'll be able to afford it monthly. It won't choke you. So thank you for listening, and if this is your first time watching my video, please subscribe, click the like button, click the notification button, drop a comment, and see you next time. Bye bye. Say bye bye. Bye bye.